again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Sky. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sky, and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post in a video. Alright, so this week we are approaching spooky season, and I wanted to do some fun, maybe slightly spooky, maybe slightly weird paintings of cute cryptids. So this week we have a fun alien friend, which hopefully everyone will enjoy, a little unconventional, but good for pre-Halloween. So I have my 4 standard brushes here that I use in most of my classes. These 4 come in a kit with these 4 sizes. Yours don't need to be the exact same size and shapes, but they should be the same general size and shapes and meant for a water media. So I use a wash brush. This is a 3/4 inch wash brush. And then I have 3 pointed brushes of different sizes. I have a size 10, a size 3, and a size 3/0 little tiny brush. I'm gonna get those guys in the water cup off the side of the screen. Today I'm gonna be using scissors, and I have a piece of paper. This is like a heavy cardstock, but yours can just be any old piece of paper. And then the colors that we have to start off with for today's background step, I have ultramarine blue, black and white, some violet, aka purple, and some cadmium red. To see a full materials list of everything that I use and recommend, check the description box below. There's a link to my materials page, as well as the colors used in today's specific tutorial. But the materials page will break down everything that you need to paint along. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in with our background step. All right, so we're gonna do a really fun gradation for the background. Always a nice way to start things off. Usually I like to go from the top down, but since we are gonna be doing the lighter colors at the bottom, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with those. And then things can get darker. So I'm gonna start with a pink color. I have my large wash brush. And I'm going to mix up a pink and take that along the base of my canvas as a beautiful sunset or sunrise, or perhaps outer space star rise, intergalactic scene. Using our imagination today, and gonna work my way up, adding a little bit of a darker color. So I have a pinch of purple here now into that pink mix. I'm gonna bring that right next to the first streak of pink. I'm going to blend the two together. Okay, don't be shy, get in there and blend. Long brush strokes all the way off the sides of the canvas. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush slightly and move to a purple and blue section. I'm going to do blue first. So I have my ultramarine blue and also some white. And I'm going to take this blue pretty much dead center. Get that on there. Good arm exercise. Building up that dexterity, very important for painting. And I'm gonna bring it down near that purple pink mixture. But in the in-between, I'm gonna use a beautiful light purple to walk my way towards the purple pink. So walking around the color wheel. Going from a cool color to a warm color. If you need a refresher on color theory and the color wheel and how to blend colors, I do have a special course on that called Color Theory 101, and it is available on Skillshare. And there's a link in the description box below as well that if you follow, you can sign up for a free month of Skillshare, so you can check it out that way. It is also included in my membership program, as well as a couple other supplemental tutorials and some other perks. To check out the membership program, click the join button on any of my videos. So I blended it a little bit into a darker blue up top, and then my last color is going to be like a dark sky navy universe blue. Beautiful color. See that a little bit of black goes a long way. Very gorgeous pigmented. I love working with black and with white, which is usually not recommended, but I like to break rules. And there are no hard rules in art anyway. But this is a navy blue, very dark navy blue, not full black necessarily today, but we will use black later. Okay, I like that. That looks pretty good. Let's see, I want maybe a little bit more of a lighter pink at the bottom. You can adjust your background however you like. My arm is feeling it today. I've been doing some weightlifting and now the brush lifting is really getting to me. Good exercise, good practice. Nice smooth blend. And then once it looks pretty good, no such thing as perfection, so once it looks good, call it good enough, and we're gonna step away and let this first layer dry before we add our alien friend. All right, I'll see everyone in a couple minutes. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a dry background layer and fresh colors on a new piece of palette paper. I once again have some black and white, as well as a bit of cadmium yellow and some phthalo green. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump back on into things. I'm going to grab my second to smallest brush. I'm going to do a very important step with this next part, which is to create our outline of our alien friend. I'm going to do this with white, and I feel most comfortable with this second to smallest brush. And I'm going to start actually by doing a circle. And this circle is going to be smaller than I think I need on my first pass, because then I'm going to bring it out a little bit, and that's going to help me get a more circular shape. All right, and bring it about to the size that I want. I'm going to be keeping the outermost sketch lines. Okay, and then at the bottom, I'm going to create a chin, so we have sort of a triangular shape. And that is going to be our alien's head. Round on the top, coming down into a triangular shape. All right, we can adjust a little bit when we fill things in as well. I can already tell I want it to be a little bit bigger. Since it's our main whole focal point of the painting. All right, that looks pretty good. I can always adjust a bit later. I'm going to center myself with a line coming down from the center part of that triangular V shape. But his neck isn't going to be that skinny, so then I'll do two curved lines. Ever so slightly curved, still pretty straight. Okay, we just got our little tubular alien bodies. Because they live in space, so there's no gravity, right? Alright, and then I'm going to come out for a shoulder. Going to curve slightly, and bring a line down off the side of the canvas here. And then I'm going to have a skinny arm and like a skinny body too. Okay, and that is the easy part. We're going to do the slightly trickier part now, which is the peace sign. So let me start by trying to mimic that same angle on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to come down a little bit for the V in the arm. I need to go a little bit further down. Let's see. Yeah, that's maybe a little too far. That's the top line. So I want to bring that in about the same angle as this V over here. Those two lines coming in together. Okay, and then the hand is a little tricky. So let's do a little circle to start, just to ground ourselves with the palm, and then a little more facing upwards. Gonna do the V for the fingers. Always starting a little smaller than I think I'm gonna end up. I think long fingers. Again, since everything is long and skinny. And then I'm gonna adjust this shape a little bit. I'm gonna come out and down, and that's going to be their thumb. And then over here, I'm gonna kind of square things off and then come into the wrist. Let's fill that in with white. And refine the shape a little bit. Okay. I feel like his arm is a little short, but we're going with it. Little green man after all. Okay, and I'm just filling things in with white as I go. He's going to, of course, be green, but having this white first can really block things out nicely so that we get a really vibrant green on top of these pretty saturated sunset colors and sky color. And I think now that I have most of my shape filled, sketched out, or the filling in, I will upgrade my brush size to a larger brush to speed things up. Just getting things sketched out and blocked in preparation for our beautiful green color. Okay, don't worry if you see a little bit of blocky brush strokes underneath still. That's why we're doing multiple coats. And feel free to use a smaller brush if you would like to trade the speed for a little bit more control. We will have a chance to refine the outer edge of our shape still a few times, but it's good to try to keep things nice and tidy. Starting even with this first layer. And I would like to let this layer of white dry for a minute as well, before we add our green and our details. But I suppose real quick, we could add some stars. So I'm gonna grab my tiniest brush, just with a little bit of that white that's left, and the back of my brush. I'm going to do some stars up in the blue portion and navy portion of the background. It's like little constellations if you'd like. You can kind of press down a little harder if you'd like bigger stars to mix things up. All right, that looks pretty good. I would like to let this dry. Once again, let's be patient so that we can come back and add a gorgeous, vibrant green. And I'm going to grab a little bit more white too, since I'm going to need it. All right, so let's step away one more time and we'll come back and finish everything off. All right, we have a dry white layer. I'm going to grab my handy piece of paper, and I'm only going to use a little bit of this, so I'll use some of the paper later too. And I'm going to create a little template for my alien friend's eyes. And I'm just going to, again, well, I guess kind of opposite, but start larger and then make it smaller with my template. And obviously that's way bigger than where I'm going with it, but I find it easier to create a nice oval shape with a little bit of wiggle room for size adjusting. That's fun. Whee! Probably still too big. Whittling my way down to a good size, and then we will have this shape which we can put on either side and make a nice even set of eyes. Essentially like an egg shape. All right, that looks pretty close. Let's see, just a tiny bit smaller. But we only have to do this once. Rather than trying to make the ovals match, it's way harder, I think. You could try to wing it too, though. Okay, I like that shape. Big eye. Going to grab the brush that I'm most comfortable with for this kind of work, which is again my second to smallest brush. And I'll mix up some green for this. This is going to be the same green that I'll use to fill in the alien body. Really vibrant, probably a good mix, about 50-50 of yellow and green, with a little bit of white as well. And let's see here. I'm going to place my eye over to the right of the center line. A little bit sort of up and angled, almost like a bug. And just do a little quick pass of paint around it. Doesn't need to be exactly perfect. Okay, then we can more easily match the other side. Okay. And then I'm going to fill in around that. And those will be filled in with black. And when we fill in with black, we can adjust things a little bit then too. I'm going to use a larger brush for this, filling in part. And just a beautiful, vibrant green. A little bit of water. And we're just gonna go on the outside of our little traced shape for the eyes. And with black in just a moment. All right, and I'm going to use my larger brush for the big parts. Then I'm going to come back in with my second to smallest brush for the details. Just to speed things up a bit. Okay. Switcheroo. Using a lot more paint than I think I'm going to with my alien shape. Okay, now this is another one of those chances to refine things. Nice clean line where your green ends. Looking pretty alien. Okay. Nothing too crazy with this step, just getting everything green, trying to keep my brush strokes kind of in the direction of the shape. Nice tidy brush strokes. Should have good green coverage and not see any background. Okay, filled in everything except for the eyes. And then down here in the body shape as well. Okay. And then our basic peace sign shape. When we add our black outlines, we will differentiate the fingers in this peace sign. So for now, we're just getting the green in. This is a fun and easy one today. Nothing too tricky. But the body human body, or in this case, a humanoid body, can be among the trickier things to paint. So give yourself some grace. If it's a little trickier than you thought it might be. If you are painting along today, I would love to see your masterpieces. It's the best part of my day. I have created a Facebook group called the Art Club, where you can share those, since you can't share photos here on YouTube. But we have a pretty active community over there, posts every day, thousands of members. It's free to join. And there's a link below to join us over there. Make sure, because I want to see your art. And it can be from painting along with me or just what you've got going on, what you're creating. I want to see it. All right, and now let's grab some black and fill in those big bug eyes. Definitely among the more recognizable alien traits, these big black eyes. But we're not making them too scary today. I think they're cute. And I would be willing to negotiate. All right, just matching the other side now. Should have no white left. We'll have a fully filled in painting. Not quite finished, a few more little details, but no more background white, white of the canvas, or white from our blocked out shape. Okay. I'm gonna grab my medium-sized brush again, real quick. And the green body is not quite as opaque as I would like it to be. So I'm just gonna do a real quick little touch up down there, kind of smooth things out a bit. And then I'm going to take a highlight color with a little more white and a little more yellow on that same medium brush. I'm going to do a quick swipe across the top of the head, along the chin, and down the shoulder line, sort of up the hand there. And then maybe a little bit of a slight highlight in the chest too, but I wanted to tone it down slightly. If you go too heavy-handed, you can blend things a little bit with more of that underneath color. Okay, we want a slightly rounded head. That's the look we're going for. And sort of a slightly rounded where the nose would be. Okay, very subtle. Home stretch here, folks. If you've made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. We're doing great. Almost finished. The black outline part, when we do it, is probably one of the most satisfying steps. And if you wanted to do this with like a paint pen, I wouldn't mind. It's not cheating, it's all art materials, so whatever feels comfortable for you. I feel very comfortable holding a paintbrush as opposed to pens and pencils. I hold pens and pencils totally differently. So I hold a paintbrush how I'm supposed to, but I hold pencils and pens like this, which is crazy. Someone told me once that was because I was meant to be left-handed, so it was like an adaptation for a brain that I guess is more right-brained. I don't know, that's not fact-checked though. But I hold my brush properly, and I do use a lot less pressure with this grip. So I tend to prefer just using a brush. And if you need to, you can always tidy things up a little bit. Slim out the line. And then I did the black line to differentiate the chin there. And we're gonna just outline the shoulders. We've got a little spot there that I'll need to correct later. And you do get little spots, so you just have to color match from the color underneath. And just spot correct it. All right, I've saved the best for last, the fingers. The tricky part. It's not that tricky. Let's just fill the outline first. He looks pretty spooky. I bet it would be a lot more spooky if he wasn't making a peace sign. Okay, just delicately going all around. The black line can make things look really tidy and very like illustrative, but it can also be tricky. And then this isn't as hard as it might seem, because we've got a lot done. So let's just do a little oval shape here for the pinky. And then I'm gonna do a little thumb shape and a little palm curve. And if you need to, you can adjust with some more green. Make things a little tidier. Now that we have that filled in, I'm going to take a little bit of a highlight color into some of those shapes that I just made. And see, that wasn't that bad. Now you know how to make a great peace sign with fingers. Of course, this hand has 4 fingers though. Since it's an alien hand, so I want to mix it up. Okay, our final last step, all we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a few more stars in the sky, and then just the tiniest few stars in their eye as well. It's a little whimsical touch. I don't want too big or too many, so if I need to, I can make things a little smaller or disappear a few. Really want them to look like stars. Just the tiniest little dots. And a few more in the background too. I think some nice bigger ones. And you can put any other final little touches that you might want to on your special painting. Pretty cute. All right. Just touching things up a tiny bit. We don't want them to look so big that they were like shine marks in the eyes. I tried doing them with shine marks and it wasn't my favorite. I prefer stars in their eyes. But we could, let's just see, we're experimenting here with a light gray maybe. A quick shine mark perhaps, to add some roundness. Yeah, that one was not so bad. It's a little more subtle than my first attempt. And might as well do some on the other side too, just for a little bit of roundness, but I think he looks really cute. Let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to join us over in the art club. I can't wait to see your paintings. Shout out and a big thank you to all of my members, and make sure to go check out Color Theory 101 either on the membership program or over on Skillshare. I hope you enjoyed this week's painting. Happy almost Halloween. I'm filming this technically still in August, but in my mind it's Halloween already. So I think a lot of you guys agree though. So the best season of the year, and I have a lot more spooky paintings for us in the coming weeks. So thank you so much for painting along today, and until next time, stay